The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN. The Money Masters. Now, the Money Masters.
Good day, Money Masters and Treasure Hunters. Welcome to the December 5th terrific Thursday edition of the Money Masters Show. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I am grateful for your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that empower human potential. Because living up to our potential, folks, that's something you and I, we must master each and every day. So let's begin our day with some empowering beliefs. You know, let's begin our day with what I consider to be the single most important skill. The single most important skill in life, folks, is influence. It's the one skill that all leaders have. And when it comes to trading, it's all about influence. And you and I, we must learn how to influence ourselves, or learn how to learn the influence of the market, what I call Japanese candlestick charting and market momentum and all the patterns that are out there. So the question is, what changes a company? What changes the direction of a company, folks? This question is extremely important because if you're managing your own investments, guess what? You are running a company. The answer to that question, you know it, it's leaders. If you're looking to change your company when it comes to trading or investing, you have to become a better leader, which means a better influencer. Now, this is really what it is all about for me each day as I write my newsletter for my clients. It's what I consider to be teaching folks how to become a better leader when it comes to managing their trading. You see, the newsletter service is not about just do this, do that. It lays out exactly a set of tools. It teach folks how to use these tools. It's about teaching folks how to become a better leader when it comes to managing their trading. You see, leaders solve problems, and leaders maximize resources. If you're going to solve problems, you can't do it yourself. Otherwise, it would already have been solved. Did you hear that? If you are going to solve problems, if you've got problems in your life, you can't do it yourself. Otherwise, it would already have been solved. You've got to get the help of others to help you do that. And that requires influence. That requires influencing yourself. You see, there is no more important skill than leadership than influence. Now, the area of life that I'm most focused on is influence because I know if you can't influence, you can't lead. That's what the use of the combined set of technical indicators that I use does for myself, does for you. How many of you would agree that leaders are what changes companies? And would you agree that a leader's number one skill is influence? So the question becomes, how do you influence? How do you influence consistently? Look, the market is a living, breathing organism. Transparency exists. Nothing is hidden. Everything is revealed, whether it's by price, by volume, by momentum, whatever system it is that you use out there, everything is revealed. Everything's revealed with candlestick charting and pattern recognition. Could you spot a change in trend in Apple? Could you spot a change in trend in Netflix? I say the answer is yes. Now, I didn't spot those changes in trends, and so I went out and I figured it out. I've been a student, I've been a teacher, I've been a master of technical patterns, and all that work led me to create a system that is so simple, it absolutely blows my mind. When I think of the hours, I mean thousands of hours and thousands of dollars that I've invested in myself, and then what I've developed. I had to say to myself, really? You mean it's really that simple? Guess what, folks? It absolutely is. You know, ultimately, the big game that each of us play, it's emotion. Emotion, otherwise known as progress. And as leaders, you and I, we can never forget that we are all emotional creatures, and we're looking to determine the emotion of the markets at all times. We're looking to do that. Right now, you've got the markets are flat. They're totally flat. So that means I can speak about this stuff because there's really nothing going on in the markets, but there is what's going on, which is emotion. So we need to talk about that. Emotion is known as progress, and as leaders, you and I, we never forget, we can never forget that we are all emotional creatures. So what is it that's influencing the emotion of the other traders? What did, and you know, we did this live yesterday twice. We did this live when the market was opening. We were taking a look at influence indicators out there that said the market needed to bounce or move sideways. When I did the opening of the show, when I did the closing of this show, the opening of the opening hour, the closing of this show, we said, guess what? We had influential tools out there that said the market needs to either move back, move sideways, pull back, and we gave you a level that we needed to be paying attention to. We're going to go take a look at that level as well. Here's the thing. We are rituals, folks. We are our rituals. It starts from the time we wake. Some of us get up before the alarm goes off. Some of us hit the snooze button 2 or 3 times. Some of us begin with breakfast. Some of us by working out. Our rituals, folks, they influence us. So the question becomes, what are your rituals? And when it comes to feeding your mind, what are your rituals? Look, the number one way to overcome fear, the number one way to overcome any crisis is to feed your mind. Get new voices, have new perspectives, ask some new questions. The key is to feed your mind every day. I know we spend time feeding our body, but do you feed your mind every day? What you want to do is you want to learn to become a master of influence by asking the right questions, a master of reading influence by asking the right questions. Questions, and I talked about this in the first hour. I mean this sincerely. Questions are the answer. If you want new answers for your life, you need new questions. If you want to give somebody a gift, ask them the right question. You see, the right question can change anything. Each of us has a need for certainty, right? Think of certainty as a need of comfort. And when it comes to your money, when it comes to investing or trading your money, how important is certainty? I answer that question. Markets are still flat here. So from a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most important, how important is certainty in your life? Look, just because all human beings need certainty, guess what? We also need uncertainty. We need variety. How many of you like surprises out there? Raise your hand if you like surprises. Everyone likes surprises, right? Of course not. We only like the surprises we like. When it comes to trading and investing, the surprise we like are the moves higher in our trades for whatever the reason might be. The surprises we don't like, we call those problems. And if you don't use stops, guess what? Those problems become absolute disasters. Instead of being a trade, you become an investor in something that you shouldn't be an investor in. Now, we also have this need for significance, to feel unique, to be special or important. Steve Wynn, he's got a belief system. It's pretty simple. He says if you want to make billions of dollars, link buying your product to significance. Make your customer feel significant. If you can, they'll spend any amount of money. In fact, just look at we're in the holiday season. Just look at the shopping habits of many. Look at the branding that people buy and wear. That's really Steve Wynn's formula. It's really that simple. Hey, we also have a need for connection and love. We here at TFNN, we've got a need for connection and love. We love connecting with you. We love connecting with you. Everyone wants connection and love. Most people think that if they're significant enough that they will be loved. That's not what we believe here at TFNN. It's not, folks. Look, our last 2 needs are the needs for growth and contribution. That's what we at TFNN are focused on. That's how we believe we get love and connection. Everyone needs to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. And when it comes to contribution, the most successful people are the ones that have a meaning beyond themselves. If you continue as you are, folks, the question is always, how will that meet your dream? So look, learn to master the power of influence. It's the most important skill, and I'll leave you with this question, since questions are the answer. When now is a good time for you to start mastering that power of influence? When now is the time to feed your mind with tools that just simply will blow your mind away? Well, let's go check out these markets. A little bit of movement, right? No, not really. The Dow is down 10 points. The S&P is off 2. The Nasdaq is up 2. The Russell 2000 is up $1.70. The Nasdaq 100, that's up a point out here. Well, we've got some movement in Goldilocks and silver. So let's go out to Dearborn, Michigan, and let's speak with Ernie. Ernie, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Hi, Steve. I got basically I'd like to discuss GLD with you here, but before I do that, I had a couple of other little questions. Basil has not been on the last couple of days. Is he on vacation, or is he back this week? Or
he's under the weather, so he's just recuperating. Yeah, he's just so we could just send out some white light to him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, the second sub-question that I've got here is, I've traded the market for years and years and years, and years ago, a stock would hit 50, they'd split, or 100, they'd split, 200, my God, they'd certainly split. Now you have all these stocks, 3, 5, 8, 100, 1,000. What do you think is behind that? Is there a reason that you can feel that companies are doing this nowadays?
I don't have a reason behind that. I don't know if it's. I don't have a reason behind that. What's your thought? What do you think might be the reason behind that?
Well, years ago, the reason that you split, let's say that you own Ford Motor and it's split 2 for 1. Now you got twice as many shares out there.
Sure.
That's more shareholders, more people that might buy your product.
Yeah, I mean, that could be one reason. I don't know what percentage of the market is made up of just individual investors versus, the funds that are buying.
Exactly.
You've got ETFs. So, like, if you want to own Google at $1,000 and Priceline at $1,100
Sure.
and Apple at $600, an easy way to do that right now is just to buy the Qs. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, in essence, you could have that basket, and so you got the Qs that are trading at, about $85 right now, or if you don't want to buy the Qs, you can find one of the other sub-ETFs. So, we've had this big influx of all these ETF structures out there that own stocks. It's kind of like your own mutual fund, and maybe, Ernie, that has something to do with it. I don't know the answer to your question.
I don't think that there is a specific answer. But anyway, jumping over to my main question here is gold. Now, I've been in and out of gold for years. I've been out because of this big downdraft that we've been going through. But as you know, quite often at the tail end of the year, stocks that are hitting new lows or have really been drubbed during the year, you'll get that tax bounce into January because everybody's selling these stocks, depressing them either further than they already are, and it's
Yes.
like a compression thing, and so on and so forth. I don't have a specific reason for wanting to buy gold, but I'm looking at the GLD, and I'm personally looking for a low here somewhere around, 114 to 118. And I don't know if it was yesterday, today, tomorrow, next week, because we still have a few days left this month, obviously. But I think after that pressure dissipates, and I don't know the reason that's going to go, but I think that we can have a real shot there. Your thoughts?
Well, are you thinking that in the case of the GLD specifically,
Yes.
Are you thinking that people are selling to be able to take a long-term loss then? Because certainly if you were to go back a year, if you went back to November or December of 2012, it's been in pretty much a straight downward move out there.
Exactly. Well, so many people have had tremendous gains this year. I wish that I was lined up with those people.
But remember, Ernie, a lot of those gains, at least 70% of them, just so that just to kind of put things in perspective, and then when we come back from break, we'll take a further look. But at least 70% of our listeners, and at least 70% of the country, those funds are in retirement accounts. So taxes are really a non-issue there.
Oh, okay. I never thought of that aspect.
Yeah, so really, when you take that whole tax thing, I think is always overblown because at least 70% is in a non-taxable situation. We'll be right back. We'll come back to Ernie in Dearborn, Michigan. We'll be right back, folks.
With over 3 decades of trading experience, Andy Hecht brings a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise to each weekly issue of his newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report. The Technomental Commodity Report gives you Andy's unique technomental analysis of the commodities market, a combination of technicals and fundamental analysis which he has developed and perfected over his many years of trading. The Technomental Commodity Report is only $49 a month, and right now you can get a full month-long trial subscription while paying absolutely nothing. See for yourself the kind of weekly report Andy delivers to his subscribers every Thursday morning. You'll receive specific stock, ETF, and option trades based on Andy's analysis, so no futures account is required. For all the details and to start your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, visit TFNN.com today.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow off 31 points. S&P is down 5. We're going back out to one of my favorite cities, Dearborn, Michigan, to speak with Ernie. We're taking a look at the GLD, and yes.
See, may I just interject one? Yeah, the reason I'm watching GLD, of course, is if you're watching an index, let's say, of auto stocks, and it starts to take off, or electronic stocks, or airlines, or whatever it is, maybe you've got a specific one inside there that you're going to buy as opposed to the ETF or the thing itself. So
Absolutely.
Here, what I'm basically trying to understand or look for is a technical turn in gold, in which I use at GLD, and there's like 2 stocks. They are all down, as you know. And
Yes.
I'm basically looking at EGO and NGD as my possible buys, as opposed to the GLD. But I'm using that as a reference to maybe when that turns, I can look to see if these stocks are turning to actually buy.
Okay. So now we're getting to the real question out here. Okay, good. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, Ernie, for you, just because you're a special person,
Here you
is
go.
I am going to. I've created an instrument. Look, but you mentioned that you're in and out of stocks. Or you've been trading gold for quite a while, so you're looking really to I guess to identify when a change in trend has taken place and to be able to stay in that trend for a longer term standpoint.
Amen.
Would that be correct?
Amen.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go put up here. I've got this I've got this trend tool that I've created, and I've got a couple lists here. And one of those lists that I've got are all of the gold stocks. I just have to find it here. It's probably right in front of me. Here's my gold watch list. I've also got the GDX, but I'm going to put my gold watch list on here. Now, it's going to take just a few minutes for this to go ahead and cycle through everything. It's going to be doing it live. So I'm taking a look here. I'm taking a look at it. If you're watching this on Tiger TV, that's great. If you're not, catch the archive of this show on Channel 10. And, folks, I'll describe to you what it is that you're looking at. So I've created a system out here. Even though the print is small, that doesn't matter. I can't make it any larger here. What I am doing is I've created this tool that allows me to go and scan as many stocks as I want. In this case here, I'm using probably about 45 stocks or so of different gold miners that are out here, gold, silver miners. And I'm taking a look at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily trends out here, the monthly, weekly, and daily trends. I'm trying to understand, are these things in uptrends, downtrends? When is something going to change? Now, a daily is going to change before a weekly, and then a weekly before a monthly. And we did this maybe a week ago or so while gold and silver were moving down, and there was a stock that just simply jumped out at us because the trend on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly was moving to the upside, and I believe it was an Explorer out here. It'll show up on our screen here in a bit. But specifically, you were looking at El Dorado Gold, I think. Did you mention EGO? Okay. Yeah. So, on the monthly chart, what I can tell you is that September 1st, that gave you a nice little buy signal. So on September 1st, 2013, on October 26th, of 2013, EGO on the weekly basis gave us a little buy signal. But right now, and this was as of 2 days ago, December 3rd, because today's the 5th, it's in a downtrend. And this is showing us that we still have buying pressure, that is inside here, inside of this equity. Now, what was the other symbol that you mentioned?
New Gold, NGD.
NGD. So let me go ahead and sort this thing by letter out here. I'm hoping that I've got that in here. I'd hate to go through this whole process. NGD, New Gold out here. So this thing on a monthly chart. So if you're going to take a look at which one is better for you, okay, this thing on December 1st on the monthly chart went into a downtrend. On November 23rd on the weekly chart went into a downtrend, and then 2 days ago on the daily chart also went into a downtrend. Ideally, you want to be able to find a stock where you've got everything in essence is green. Great Panther Silver, okay. No, that's not one of them out here. Let's see if I've got anything that is green. Yeah, here it is. Polymet, PLM, is the ticker symbol. Polymet Mining. This thing is in a nice uptrend on the monthly, on the weekly, and even on the daily chart. PLM is the ticker symbol. Yeah, let's actually go ahead. We'll pull the chart up on my screen. This thing had a pretty large breakout, wide price spread, accelerated volume here. Actually pulled back into the breakout area. This thing broke out with big volume on November 26, Ernie. It did volume of 2.7 million shares to the upside. It pulled back, and it did this while we were all resting from Turkey out here. Actually gave a potential buy point as this thing pulled back to about 96 cents out there. So, this could be...
Does anybody been specific that, like maybe the whole group is going one direction and this one turns? Maybe there's a specific announcement or something like that?
Hey, Ernie, let's make this the Steve and Ernie show today. Stay with us through the break. All right? We'll be back with Ernie. We're going to continue taking a look at Goldilocks and some of the stocks. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can't use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 35. S&P is down 4. And this is the Money Masters shows with your co-host, Ernie from Dearborn, and me, Steve Rhodes, here. We're taking a look at gold. We started off, actually, we began by wanting to take a look at the GLD. So, Ernie, let's go do that. Let me show you something here that maybe you did not know about the GLD. And that is that on the GLD, it is, if you believe in cycle patterns out here, gold has about a 26-day cycle pattern where it's been forming lows out here. And it works pretty well. If you go back and you start, and you can do this and you can apply this to the GLD chart. That's what I've done. If you're watching us on Tiger TV, you see these little humps on the upper portion of the screen. I'm just starting with the session of April 15th. And I take it out every 26 days. And every 26 days, the GLD forms a bottom right around every 26 days out here. Now, the only time that it really failed to do so was on September 11th out here. And this is going back to the April 15th. Well, September 11th.
Days or calendar days?
Trading sessions. 26. Okay. Yep, 26 trading.
28 days, but that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, 20. I don't know if it'd be 28 because of the number of weekends or whatever, but 26 trading sessions is where the cycle lows come in. Plus or minus a bar here. Now, I will tell you that, Ernie, on November the 22nd, that was the next projected cycle low, And on November the 25th, we had a nice bullish engulfing key reversal session. It was a test of the swing point low from June 28th, and I went ahead and I took a stab at going long gold. I even went against my momentum system out there, but knowing that these cycle lows, I was trying to buy a bottom. You know, and every time you try to buy a bottom, you get slapped around usually, you know. The guy upstairs or the gal upstairs, they point their fingers at us and they say, "Didn't I teach you about waiting for the trend to change?" And the answer is yeah. So this cycle here hasn't worked. Also, you mentioned Basel earlier when we called. What I showed the GLD in, I show that it had formed a peak C or trough C, I suppose. That was on December 3rd out here. So it looks like it's got at least one more low to be able to put in. And that's what the GLD is showing. So there's, that trading pattern here failed. And I think that what you have to do is you've got to wait, specifically in the case of the GLD out here, and I'll put that up on my screen. You've got to wait for the...
Right.
Yeah, you got to really wait for the trend to change. Now, yesterday was a potential day, but it got knocked down. You need, like today, we need to see the GLD close above 120, probably 120.15, something right around there, and then that would be an indication that the trend could actually change. Now, that price point that I just gave you, that could easily change tomorrow. But as we speak about things today, if we were to see the GLD close above 120.15, and anything can happen in the trading session out here, that would say, you know what? We're beginning to see a change in trend inside of the GLD. That would be on the daily chart. The weekly chart is going to need probably a little bit more work than that. And so since you are looking for more from a long-term standpoint, you're probably looking at about 124.50, 124.75, something along those lines in order for the weekly trend to potentially change out there. And
I was looking at a point and figure chart. That's where I came up with this general area of 114 or 118. Now, when does your next 26th date occur? Do you have that maybe in circle there?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe I do, and if I don't, we'll go figure that out. Yep, I do. That says not till January 2nd. January 2nd will be the next 26-day trading cycle.
Birthday. That's great.
Yeah, so that is, I don't know if the market's open on January 2nd. I don't know when New Year's actually falls this year, but trading day wise, but that 26 day trading cycle works pretty darn well. Doesn't work all the time.
I'm going to watch that closely. Thank you.
Yeah, watch that. But the more important thing here is, especially because you're looking at it from a long-term standpoint, is, and you're right, with regard to the gold equities that you're trying to follow, wait for the actual market to change its trend before you try to jump on board any of those.
Exactly what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm watching the GLD.
Yeah.
So, Steve, you've taken a lot of time with me, and I'm sure there's other people probably waiting to speak to you. You've answered basically all my questions. If you have anything else to say, I'd appreciate it. But I don't want to take up half your day here.
Well, I will say something to you. We here at TFNN, we love you. We love you for listening to us. We want you to have a happy holiday.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks so much for calling, Ernie.
TFN.
All righty. Right now, folks, the Dow's off 30 points, so we really have kind of another flat trading session out here today. And actually, great call with Ernie. Gave me an opportunity to show you a number of different tools out here. Perhaps the best set of tools, though, are the ones that I've just really created. It's this. Life is a journey, folks, and each day we've got to feed our mind. You've got to find a way to be able to feed our mind. Maybe some of the things that I share with you live on the air, maybe you want to learn more about these things like my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. It's much, much more than a newsletter service. So you can test drive that. 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, an incredible education. It's all about feeding your mind, and there's really no risk on your part. You get to see this tool, these set of tools here, because I want to be able to teach you how to fish. I want to be able to teach you what to look for, and I want you to have that patience. You want to be able to determine your trading style, what your time periods are, your time horizons are out here. That's why I've got a monthly and a weekly and a daily trend out there. I mentioned a statistic here when Ernie was talking about tax selling that goes on. And in my opinion, the whole tax selling message is just so overblown. And when you just stop for a moment to think about it, and you step back just for a moment to take a look at what really goes on. It's 70. This was years ago when the studies that I read about the number of assets, stock market assets, bond assets held in retirement accounts. And at that stage, it was 70+% out there. And the question that I posed to someone in the den, I said, just look, I think it's more than 70%. And that, therefore, tax selling really isn't an issue because you can sell back and forth in your IRA, your 401k plans all day long. You don't have to worry about taxes out there. So the tax selling thing is really a overblown issue, just simply not my opinion, just simply factual out there. And then I say to you, go ask all your neighbors, go ask all your friends, go ask all your coworkers, go ask all your relatives, go ask all of those folks how many of them have their assets just simply inside their retirement accounts when it comes to trading. You may be one of the few that trades a account where you've got, you're going to be taxed on it in your daily income or what have you. You're really one of a few when it comes to the percentages that are out there when you take a look at the entire neighborhood, if you will, of folks that are actually trading and investing. And therefore, don't let that whole tax selling thing really affect your trading style, and everything else that is out there. Let's go to Brian in Jackson, Mississippi. Brian, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How you doing today?
Doing great, Steve. How about you?
Excellent. How'd that Walmart trade? What did you decide to do there?
Well, at the time we talked, it was trading just above $80, and
yes.
I had some calls on it, some 85, January 85 calls. And it's been doing good up till the last two sessions, and I was, I'm trying to decide whether or not to get out of it, or is this just a pullback?
Yes. Well, today this thing really looks like this thing fell out of bed. Let's go take a look at Walmart. Let's go see what it's really trading into and take a look at the volume here. Where is it on my screen? Come on, there it is. It should be in my core holdings. And if it's not, it's not, and we'll put it in here. Right now we've got Walmart. Where is it? Not on here. So we're going to add it. WMT, folks, that's the ticker symbol that we are looking at. And this thing has pulled back into the consolidation zone. This is not what you wanted to see if you are being long inside of Walmart. Now, the volume here today, as it's pulled back, it's got 2 million shares. This thing broke out most recently with 5 million shares, and that was on November 25th. It's pulling back into the November 26th trading session that has only about 5.6 million shares, and we've only been trading for an hour. So they've got some pretty good volume behind the move. Was there some piece of news or something that Walmart reported on that you know of today? Is there something out there that created? Because yesterday, that looked pretty good. The pullback was with volume of, yesterday was a signal. I didn't see this. Yesterday pulled back with 7 million shares going against that breakout of 5.6. That was not a good scene. That was actually giving a signal that there were some problems here in River City. So the question is, where will this likely pull back to? Is that right? Yeah.
I'm looking back, just visually, I'm looking back to August the 5th.
August the 5th, okay. Back.
Does that look like an area? It looks like, visually looking back, it looks like that, and back around May the 15th. Those two stick out.
Yeah, so August the 5th, the problem with August 5th, and it's a swing point for sure, but that swing point only had 4 million shares, and you're trading back into that, now today with more volume than that. And the May the 15th, so that May the 15th swing point, I think that's important because that's really the top of the consolidation box, in my opinion. And that's this little yellow box going across the screen. And when you came back into the consolidation, the lows of the consolidation could take you all the way back to October 7th. So 71.51. So this thing coming back into the consolidation, if you can't bust it out in a consolidation, it'll try to bust it down. And so actually 71.51 could be your target. Now, your two most logical stops on the way down in Walmart are going to be 77.59, which is your .382 retracement, and 75.27. 77.59 doesn't make a lot of sense to me because you're gapping down this morning. You had volume yesterday, And so that, in essence, is not necessarily saying that that's where it'll stop. If you were long, you would hope that that's where it'll stop, because that is the last place where you could find any kind of real swing point, so to speak, which is November 8th. Because this thing never built a floor coming off of the lows here on October the 7th. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and use the old Basil Chapman peak counter out here. Let me just try to run that. Let me see what happened here as we do the little count up.
Another question I was going to ask you. On an orderly uptrend, it started on like the 7th and going to 81, whatever it is. I mean, how do you count your A, B, C's in there? Because it's kind of like just up, 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 up. It didn't really. You can't.
So it's a great question. Thank you for asking. There never was any kind of a pullback, and you need to have some kind of retracement. Your ABC inside of Walmart, the way that you would take a look at it, Brian, is you would come down all the way to the swing point. This is what I would do. This is what I would teach you to do. I would come all the way back to February 15th, 2013. That would be my A point, because that's where you've got your lowest swing point. And then that May 15th area that you targeted, that would be your B point, that 79.96. And the C point is where that last leg, that C to D leg from October the 7th. And 1-to-1 there said that we should have seen Walmart make its way up to $83.32. And it broke that consolidation, and it had it should have been able to at least do that. It wasn't. Now it's in, it's the volume is the concern here inside of Walmart. And I would have to say that if you're going to target anything, it would probably be the September 25th candle session, because that's got 15 million shares. And that could be where you might find support around $75, $74, $73, somewhere right around that range. But it looks like that's where Walmart is heading to. That's how I would take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern. And it looks like what Walmart did was it went ahead and made a peak E in Basil's counting system. So I think that's where it's headed to, right around the $75 level.
Okay, well, I'm going to watch it close, and I'm going to probably, if it's still looking down tomorrow, I'll probably get out of it and, small loss. It's better than the whole thing with options. If you don't get out quick, you lose it all. So.
Yeah, nothing. It's that stinky fish thing with options. What I would do is I would really watch volume now, because volume in the first hour of trading here, is going to be heavier than maybe intraday. But if that's not the case inside Walmart, then the volume pattern is telling you to get out of Dodge. So you've got 2 million shares now, and yours in the first hour trading, if it were to keep up like this, that's a 10 million, 8 million share a day. And yesterday it did 7 million, so it could be even more than that. It could be a 10 or 12 million shares. So right now, if you've got volume accelerating to the downside, it says, make your loss as small as you possibly can.
Right. Okay, Steve, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for for calling, and have a happy holiday.
You too, Steve.
Absolutely. All righty. So right now, folks, Dow's off 61 points out here, and let's go take a look at the Stevie trending tool out here. And as we take a look at this, we're going to take a look at the indexes. We'll take a look at, in fact, let's take a look at the indexes out here. Well, I guess we're going to have to do that when we get back from break. And then I'm going to have to be very quick, because our last segment's only about 4 minutes or so. Right now, the Dow is trading off 61 points. S&P is down 7. We'll be right back.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, the Dow's off 54 points. And, if we take a look at the 120-minute chart for the diamonds out here, for all those folks that are subscribers to Basil's newsletter, I know that, he was taking a look at the Dow diamonds, looking for it to make a trough D out here, that fourth lower move out there. And just simply by using this nice little counting system that I've got on my system out here, give me a moment here, we can delete that and just start from that. The way that I've built this here, just so that it becomes just very easy to just simply count either peaks or troughs. And all I'm doing is just clicking on the candlestick out here. I'm going to go ahead and make this available somehow to listeners out there, subscribers, just finishing up some finishing touches on this. But I'm going to just start at the high out here at 11:30 in the morning on November 29th on Friday. Just going to come out here, just hit my countdown little button. You can see it just simply counts so easily the peaks or the troughs, in this case here, the lower moves. And that came in yesterday at 3:30 in the afternoon. It made that fourth move, or in this case here, your letter D out there. Of course, Basil likes to use the stochastic for his momentum indicator. I use the relative strength index. Use one or the other. There's no reason to really use both because they both measure momentum out here. Of course, we haven't seen since that fourth lower trough out there, we have not seen any kind of movement or momentum to the upside. Basil also uses the MACD as an indicator. That's still pushing lower out here. That not showing any kind of a turn, so not exactly any kind of bullish jump inside of the 120-minute chart for the Dow Diamonds. Now, let's go set up what it is that we're looking for today, or areas that we really want to be paying attention to. And what we want to be paying attention to, folks, is, in my opinion, is we want to be paying attention to the NASDAQ composite and the NDX. Now, I'm going to give you the number for the actual composite out here because that has been the strength in the marketplace. So that has kept the market up, as well as the NDX 100. I'll prove that to you in just a moment. The number you want to be paying attention to inside the NASDAQ, 4,009 is what we'll call it. You're trading at 4,031 right now. So 4,009 is very doable to the downside if the market starts to bust loose. If the NASDAQ composite closes below 4,009. Hey, look, if it's 4,950, that still qualifies under Stevie's method out here. So at 4,009, the NASDAQ composite will have cut loose. And that will then all of a sudden move us into will move us into a change in trend and a potential sell zone out here. With regard to the NDX 100, I'll give that number to you as well. As we take a look at the NDX, the number on the NDX you want to be paying attention to today, 3448. Look, 3465, quite frankly, and you're at 3477. That puts you real close. But the real confirmation of a push lower is going to be right around 3448 is the number that you use, and, just plus or minus a few things. Now, it is these two that have been holding us up, but if I go put up let me put up the equal-weighted ETF, QQEW, I believe, is the Guggenheim equal weight index out here. And this is the daily chart. And the daily chart has shown more weakness than the NDX 100. The number on this, by the way, is about 3485. It's trading at 3490 right now, so it does not have that far to go. And so it's the weighted names, it's the weighted structure that have really been keeping the market up. Inside of the S&P 500, look, that itself is already in a sell type of zone or correction zone or further correction zone here. The S&P has to close above 1795 today in order to eliminate that. If we take a look at the VIX here, you'll also want to be paying attention to the VIX. The VIX index right now, it made the 0.382 move. If it closes today above 1571, it says the VIX wants to run most likely to about the $18 range, 1750, 1775, somewhere right around there. Folks, as always, thanks so much for being here. We love you here at TFNN. We hope you're having a great holiday season. Don't forget, check out Mastering Probability. It'll be an educational experience that you'll want forever. Take care, folks. Have a great Thursday.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.